Hello again from Normandy. It's sunny, but it's very cold. Well, in January of this year, I did an unboxing video, and I did say at the time that it was the first one I'd ever done, and the only other one I hadn't done was a beauty makeup one. Well, here it is, perhaps a bit different, and it's only really as an opener to the main meal of this video, which is about getting your garden ready for winter. And with a forest garden, what I've been able to do is to collect a lot of leaves from friends of mine, from their gardens, and I've been able to create a beautiful forest floor with it. Because although we have a lot of trees, it takes years and years, decades and decades to create a forest floor, and I'm sort of doing it very quickly as possible. So in the summer I get a lot of grass bought in, a lot of lawn mowings from a neighbour who does not treat his lawn with anything. It's actually a field, it's a old meadow that he mows, so I get all that. So part of that is eaten by the chickens obviously, and the rest of it goes into the ground. This year it's been very, very hot. We have a clay soil, so it's baked on top, and the chickens haven't been able to get down and get into getting all the arthropods, the worms, beetles, everything else normally they would get. So this layer of leaf is now going to be able to start to bring everything back up. So hopefully they'll be getting some food out of it as well, and it will create a future environment for all these arthropods to live in. So let's get on with the makeup video. I'm going to do a woodland spirit video. It's basically because I've done an instructable on a woodland spirit twig crown, which I hope you can see here. And this is the makeup to go with it, and it's a natural makeup because I don't put anything on my skin that isn't organic or isn't something I could eat basically. And I'm going to make it out of green clay, Montmorillonite. You probably, if you've watched my videos before, you've probably seen me use this clay. It's a therapeutic clay, and I use it to heal wounds and to seal them and also to heal them. It's also something that most people use for a beauty mask or a detox. It's really, really good. I'm going to use it in the dry form, and then I'm going to add to it organic coconut oil, and that's going to make my foundation, which will give me a green skin, hide all these wrinkles as well. And afterwards I'm going to make an eyeshadow out of organic cocoa powder, and again using the organic coconut oil. This is a tried and tested makeup for me because this year I went to my cousin's wedding. I'd ordered some organic makeup online, but I paid by cheque because I haven't got a credit card, and it didn't come in time, so I decided to make my own. And I rather frightened my mother-in-law by suggesting that I could use cocoa powder and coconut oil, and it worked. I mean, we danced till I think 4 o'clock in the morning, and I never put any more makeup on during that whole time, and it didn't. She was afraid it was going to sort of go hot and drip all over the place, but it didn't. It was perfect. So this is another one that I'm going to use. So let's get started. First of all, in this sort of weather, it's quite cold here at the moment, you're probably going to need something like a bain-marie to get your coconut oil to melt into your clay or your cocoa. So I'll start by doing that. You can see it goes on quite smoothly. You can bear the shock. And then afterwards, what I did to make it look a bit more woodlandy and to look like bark was that I took because you can see it's very shiny at the moment because the oil needs to congealify again. But I took an organic cotton makeup pad, and I patted it all over. And made it matte. But you need to get a goodly amount on first. You might need to do a couple of layers if you want it very green. And also, if you think about it, you're actually doing your skin a lot of good at the same time. So I'm just patting this down a bit with my organic makeup pad, just to take off any excess of the coconut oil, but also to try and bring it up to give it a sort of bark-like look for my twiggy woodland spirit, or dryad I suppose. And here's my coconut I make up, and in this cold it's actually going solid again, but I just put on a little. When I used it to go to the wedding I was quite sparing with it. Oh, it's a nice colour, chocolatey. I think probably a wood spirit would wear quite a lot. And if you want to find out more about how I made my twig stick crown, then please do check out my Instructable. I'll put the link at the end of this film. But for now, that's enough of this nonsense. Let's get back to the serious business of creating the forest floor. In previous summers, I've always been able to bring great volumes of grass into the forest garden and use that to make a floor, which the chickens, well, firstly they can use it to eat and get very valuable folate, vitamin B9 from it, but also they love to use it to just sit on and relax and sunbathe. And as it dries out, it creates a wonderful environment to foster the proliferation of invertebrates, which they can then look for to their heart's content. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately this year, it's been a glorious summer and it's been very hot and it's hardly ever rained. So nobody's had any grass. Therefore, at the end of the summer, I began to think how I could create a flooring in the forest which would not only help bring invertebrates back, because obviously everything's gone down very deeply because it's been so dry, but also something that I could use in their chicken coops as well, because organic straw is getting very expensive. And I was thinking that because my chickens love, and my quail love, spending time burrowing about in leaves, that I could use that for the chicken coops and for the quail house. And I have a friend who has a park type garden which is planted with many different types of deciduous trees, and she's always complaining about the leaves being on the grass, and I don't really understand that, because I think leaves are beautiful and I don't really care about being on the ground, but it's a great advantage for me to be able to go there and collect all these leaves. And you can see that I've now got quite a depth of leaves everywhere throughout the garden, and it will take us through the winter. As the rain rains into it, it will just create a different sort of environment for different sorts of invertebrates, and it will slowly break down. Some of it is magnolia, so it will break down even more slowly, and it will also protect the soil from what we will get very heavy rains this winter. So all round, it's a great exercise, and I suggest if you've got friends like mine who don't like leaves, then you should go around there and collect them up. The other thing that's very interesting about collecting leaves for your garden is that you often also get a lot of moss mixed in with it, and of course this moss is very valuable free nutrition for your birds as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll hope to see you again next time, when I'll be looking at the day in the life of one of my smallest chicks, Tweety. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Is it running?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello there, how are you doing? And let's have a look at this, and that's what I've done, and it's on Instructables, and that's very interesting. And now I'm going to do some makeup. Okay, that's it. So look at it.